are hearing now from lobstermen and other stakeholders after a very tense meeting just last night in Augusta filled with yelling and profanity. So that meeting ended with the state leaders pulling out of an agreement that would have increased the minimum size a lobster can be before lobstermen are then required to throw it back into the water.
It's all over a proposed rule from a federal regulatory group that would require lobster to be 1/16 of an inch bigger than the current requirement in order for fishermen to harvest it. The goal was to protect the fisheries, but dozens of lobstermen at the meeting said the increase would be devastating to their livelihoods.
That led to high emotions from both lobstermen and the Department of Marine Resources Commissioner Patrick Kelleher.
Sold out to no one in Canada.
Oh, f you. F you, I sold out to no one.
Nice.
Yeah, it is nice.
Kelleher went on to say he and Governor Janet Mills both believe Maine should not comply with the new regulation. He then announced he decided to pull the gauge increase rule based on all the pushback. Now, though, Kelleher says Maine runs some risks by not complying. Kelleher says if the Atlantic States Marine Fisheries Commission votes to challenge Maine's non-compliance, the U.S. Secretary of Commerce could take action by ultimately forcing the industry to comply or closing the fishery. And that would mean no lobster could be exported out of Maine. The executive director of the Maine Lobstermen's Association says it's a tricky situation, but last night's decision was a relief.
It would have had major ramifications on trade of lobster between the U.S. and Canada, none of which have been fully understood, but certainly a massive shakeup. And that alone could also really have a lot of downward pressure on the lobster price.
At the end of the day, we need to do what's right for the industry in the state of Maine, and I'll work it out with the commission.
A spokesperson for the ASMFC says they will likely discuss Maine's decision at their next board meeting. That's happening February 4th. As for Kelleher's outburst last night, Governor Mills said today in a news conference he has apologized to the lobstermen and that she is, quote, happy with that.